in along the Auburn Ravine, and there's a feral colony or feral feeding station right over here. And this is one of a number of places that we visited with Sue this morning that she does daily feeding and monitoring of the colonies. And she knows all the cats and knows everything about them, and she's even given some of them names. So tell us when you started doing this.
I think it's been about a year. Most of them I come twice a day. This one and that one down there I don't, but a lady who lives here feeds them at night. So there are only 2 colonies where they only get fed once a day. But none of them look emaciated, and they're not dying to eat when I come. So I make sure they get a decent amount of food.
I think they're very well taken care of.
My kids say I spoil them. And
I think you probably do.
That's part of my job in life.
But that's okay. So tell me what you do to sort of monitor the cats that are here, and what happens when you see a cat that doesn't have an ear tip. What happens if you see a new cat come in, or a friendly cat? What happens if a really friendly cat shows up in the colony?
Well, if a friendly cat shows up, first I would get a picture and post in Nextdoor and Lost Cats in Lincoln, and especially because we're here in Lincoln. So people had a chance to see, and hopefully if someone sees it and says, hey, I know my friend's cat got away, and I'm going to look at this for the cat, for the friend. So we don't just take the cat. We do everything we can to make sure that we could find the owner. And I have a scanner, and I will scan the cat for a microchip. And if nobody shows up, it could be, and in 2 cases I have rescued 2 cats because I knew they had been owned, and one went through FieldHaven and has been adopted, and the other one was a private adoption where I interviewed the woman very carefully, and the kitty's name is Tripper, and he is in an incredible home. So, and then the other cats, if I don't recognize a cat, I'm going to start seeing if it shows up regularly, and if it does, then I look for the ear tip, and if it doesn't have an ear tip, then I have a partner that will trap, and we get the kitties out to FieldHaven for altering and to get shots and to be looked at. And if it's a cat that is limping, or like this kitty here has a red eye, so when my partner is able to start trapping again, he will be the first kitty that we pick up and get into FieldHaven so his eye can get looked at. And I don't think he's altered, so we'll get him altered and get him his shots. He would need to come back here because he's just too afraid to go into an adoption program. He would just cower in fright.
So this is actually his home.
His home, right.
Actually a pretty nice home if you think about it. This one here with the ravine and the water and the woods, and it's so quiet here.
Yeah, it's very nice in comparison. No traffic to worry about.
So it's kind of an ideal location for feral colonies. You?
Not just me though. FieldHaven helps me out a lot. Every now and then I'll meet somebody at one of the colonies who will just come up and say, I'd like to give you some money for the cats. And then one of the FieldHaven ladies I'm just getting to know told me that the Rayleighs close to me has a clearance area, and she picked up some stuff that she gave to me. So I will start shopping there regularly because I think it's about half price. And it's just either expired or the bag of kibble got torn.
What does it cost you per week?
I would say about $80.
That's a pretty significant amount.
Well,
and I know just from observing you, you do very controlled feeding. You're not overfeeding. I've seen a lot of colony feeders who waste a lot of food because they leave it and the raccoons and wildlife get it, but I see you feed very, very appropriately for the number of cats. Yeah. So so I hope that we can find more people that want to donate and toward the colony feeding programs. And that's one thing that we also do at FieldHaven is we try and find donations of food that we can subsidize the colony caregivers like yourself. And sometimes it's just people, their kitties passed away, so they'll donate their food. We are getting some donations from some of the warehouses in the Reno area. So, but it's a long drive to go get food.
Right.
But we just work with anybody that will donate food to us whenever we find food programs, and so that way we can help subsidize, you and people will just buy food and donate as well.
Right.
And we don't look for anything fancy. We're not looking for the best of the most expensive premium
Right.
food. Purina cat chow is actually what we feed at the shelter.
Right.
So meow mix, whatever we can get.
9 Lives.
9 Lives, and we mix it together if we get small bags of things. So sometimes we'll get PetSmart will donate us some broken bags. So anything like that, we're always looking for more sources because these kitties aren't too picky.
No, they're not. I have one, but it's an exception.
Yeah.
Right.
So how many hours a day do you spend doing this, Sue?
About 3.
About 3 hours every day,
And I drive about 30 miles.
7 days a week.
Yes.
And do you have backups? Like what happens if
I need to do that.
if this is something you would like to do? Anybody that's listening to this would like to come out and maybe be a backup. We don't have to do it 7 days a week like Sue does. There's far and few between. That she loves doing what she's doing. It's her soul food, right? It's kitty food and soul food.
Right.
But if you want to just maybe once a week, or you can be a respite, so in case Sue's got to go out of town to visit some family, or she's not feeling well, something like that, you can be a backup feeder. I'm sure any and all help is appreciated.
Absolutely.
And Sue, thanks for doing what you're doing. This is incredible, and it's a little known thing that people can do to volunteer, but it's a powerful thing that people can do, because this is keeping cats happy, safe, and out of shelters and from being nuisance animals.
Right. And also, if we are able to bring them into FieldHaven and get them altered, it seriously reduces unwanted cat population.
So the goal of being a good colony manager is that when new cats come in, you immediately do what you can to get them secured so that they can be altered, and no kittens. So I'm going to knock on wood here, but you haven't had any kittens in any of your colonies this year yet, right? Okay. I've probably just jinxed you, but hopefully not.
Right.
Thanks, Sue.
My pleasure. Like I say, it's my heart.